Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In this video, we're going to be discussing the new Hogwarts Legacy game, which was recently announced. The official trailer for Hogwarts Legacy was released on the PlayStation YouTube channel 5 days ago, and if you haven't seen it yet, well, you're missing out. While the trailer is only 2.5 minutes long, this is the first shred of new Harry Potter content that we've had in a very long time, and it certainly got people excited. The game is definitely long overdue, and people have been speculating about its release for years, though no official statement had ever been released by Warner Bros. Great, so a new Harry Potter game. But what kind of game is it? We've had Harry Potter games in the past, how is this any different? A press release from this week confirmed that it is in fact an open-world, single-player, action role-playing game, which will allow you to create your own personal witch or wizard and spec them exactly as you want them to be. Players will experience life as a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry like never before, as they live the unwritten and embark on a dangerous journey to uncover a hidden truth of the wizarding world. They will grow their characters' abilities as they master powerful spells, hone combat skills, and select companions to help them face off against deadly enemies. Players will also encounter missions and scenarios that will pose difficult choices and determine what they stand for. Additionally, this game is clearly the product of a great deal of effort, something which I can't say for some of the Harry Potter themed games that have been released in the past. This game has been in the works for a while, and I predict that it's going to set itself apart from the rest. With innovative high-definition graphics, a player can practically feel the terror of Inferi bearing down upon them, sense the ground rumbling beneath them as a herd of angry centaurs surrounds them. Even dueling against a deadly dark witch takes on a new level of realism, thanks to the controller's ability to imbue sound and touch into every moment. The clear forethought and effort that appears to have been placed on this game makes things seem promising, and the prospect of an open-world Harry Potter game has got me excited. But what's it all about? Is it canon? Does it touch on the lives of the existing characters that we know and love? Or is it something else altogether? The game, created by Portkey Games and Avalanche Software, takes place around 100 years before Harry Potter starts attending Hogwarts. You'll play as a student attending Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry during the late 1800s, and just like any other student at Hogwarts, you'll attend classes and learn magic alongside your classmates. You have received a late acceptance to the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and soon discover that you are no ordinary student. You possess an unusual ability to perceive and master ancient magic. Even more exciting, it looks as though you will be able to determine your own path, good or evil. Much like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR was one of my favourite games of all time, and if Harry Potter Legacy is able to live up to that game at all, then I'll be satisfied. Only you can decide if you will protect this secret for the good of all, or yield to the temptation of more sinister magic. Okay, so the game takes place in the late 1800s, which technically means that, since we're going to be attending Hogwarts, we should see some familiar faces. There's also one man in particular that I'm hoping to see. That was quite important in the Harry Potter franchise. Albus Dumbledore. Ever heard of him? Dumbledore was born in the year 1881, and he started attending Hogwarts in the year 1892. If the game takes place in the late 1800s, I'm going to assume that this covers the 1880s and 1890s. So, will we see our beloved Hogwarts headmaster? According to Avalanche Software and Portkey Games, who are responsible for Hogwarts Legacy, the game will follow the Wizarding World lore set out in the original Harry Potter novels. However, the story for the game itself is entirely original and was written by the studio, not by J.K. Rowling. What this means is that we might not see so many familiar faces, as it follows a different trajectory altogether. However, given that the studio have expressed that the game will follow the Wizarding lore set out in the novels, I think that it would be unusual for Dumbledore to not make an appearance, as he was quite a prominent figure at the school during his schoolboy days. If he doesn't make an appearance at all, then I think that it would break canon to some extent, and I also think that everyone would be a bit disappointed. It would have been easy for them to have simply set the game in the 1850s or 1860s, so I think that they must have consciously chosen the late 1800s for a reason. Dumbledore went there from 1892 to 1899. Coincidence? I think not. If Dumbledore is included in the game, I am eager to see how Hogwarts Legacy will portray him, particularly as at this point in his life, he's not the wise old man that we've all become accustomed to. At this stage in his life, Dumbledore had not yet graduated, which means that he had not yet returned to Godric's Hollow, which is where he met Gellert Grindelwald. When Dumbledore met Grindelwald, It was a time of his life when he went down a much darker path. Dumbledore didn't have all the answers, and he was still figuring things out for himself. So, given that his time at school predates this period, I can only speculate that the schoolboy Dumbledore would be even more naive. There has been some speculation by fans that, if Dumbledore is present in the game, that he will have some kind of direct affiliation with the character that we play. The most popular idea floating around is that our character will serve as some sort of a mentor or teacher to Dumbledore, helping him to develop the strong personality that he has later in life. Others have speculated that our character will actually be Dumbledore's rival, a bully that treats Dumbledore the same way that Draco treated Harry or James Potter treated Snape. Given that the game has alluded to freedom with regards to the moral path that our character can go down, perhaps both of these will be options. Either way, it will be interesting to see a younger, teenage Dumbledore, as in both the Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter films, he already seems to have figured everything out more than everyone else. The headmaster of Hogwarts during this time, according to canon, is Phineas Nigellus Black, who served as headmaster from 1847 to 1925. Phineas was a pure-blood member of Slytherin House, and perhaps the most hated Hogwarts headmaster in the school's history. Despite his notoriety, Phineas was immortalized in the form of a portrait in the headmaster's office, and he has some back and forth with Harry in the Order of the Phoenix. I thought that to belong in Gryffindor House, you were supposed to be brave. It looks to me as though you would have been better off in my own house. We Slytherins are brave, yes, but not stupid. For instance, given the choice, we will always choose to save our own necks. It's not my own neck I'm saving. Oh, I see. This is no cowardly flight. You're being noble. If Portkey and Avalanche have decided to place familiar characters in the game, which do you expect to see? Which characters do you know that were at Hogwarts in the late 1800s? We still don't know exactly how the gameplay will work just yet, but the trailer certainly gives us a bit of an idea, and I expect that in the months to come, more and more information will be revealed to us about how the game itself will operate. We also don't have an exact release date for the game just yet, but we do know that it's coming out in 2021, which is certainly making 2021 look a lot better than 2020 already. And that's it for this video. What do you guys think of this game? Are you going to play it? Which characters do you hope to see in it? Let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time, you're a wizard, Harry!